the world. Now, today's show is going to deal with Islam versus Muslims' actions. Many people have called me over the past few years and said, you know, this is religion, you should try this or you should try that, and trying to convert me back to their religion or another religion. I have to answer this very clearly so you understand why I became a Muslim. I became a Muslim for the concept of God. It's the Muslims' concept of God and the Islamic way of thinking towards our Creator that attracted me to the religion and gave me a belief that nobody can take away from me, inshallah, which means God willing. It's the concept of looking at God as the Creator of everything, knowing that God doesn't poop or pee or have deficiencies of needs or exist in a space or a time or in His creation, but has knowledge of everything and who's created everything, and is so great that He is beyond my imagination, is so great that the best things I can imagine in the world are nothing in comparison to God. God is so amazing, it's impossible for God not to be amazing. So we don't believe that it's possible for God to be a human being, because a human being existed in a time, in a place, and has needs, has deficiencies. And we don't believe that God can be a statue or other forms of idolatry, because these things are symbolic of the creation, not symbolic of the Creator. Nothing can represent God except for God Himself. And when we say He, it has nothing to do with genitals. God exists, and His existence is so great, it's not possible for Him not to be great. This is the religion I came into. Now the senseless violence around the world, which Muslims surely share in guilt in, I renounce all forms of terrorism. I don't know how many times the Muslims have to stand up and say, if, for example, Osama bin Laden supports the bombings of 9/11 of the World Trade Centers, I denounce Osama bin Laden's understanding of the religion. Is that good for the viewers? I renounce Hamas. If Hamas says that they support suicide bombings, in that they're going to hurt innocent people. However, if they go under a tank and blow themselves up as a war strategy, and no women, children, or elderly men are blown up, this is acceptable in that it was a war tactic, but not to harm the innocent civilians who have nothing to do with the war. Do you understand? It's a fine line. So in Sudan, if people have been tortured of any belief, then I renounce it. I renounce all forms of terrorism as a Muslim, and all Muslims are against it. However, Muslims are not pacifists. We also have the right to stand up for what we believe in. If somebody walks into our house and tries to rape our daughter or rape our mother or rape our wives, we certainly do not stand by and watch it. However, we know and recognize patience. We have to have patience. And we haven't had patience as a Muslim community for all the non-Muslims out there. We understand that you're seeing a religion of hypocrisy. And God willing, if you take the chance to see the beauty in Islam, in that we are the only ones in the world who worship God correctly, in that we know who God is, and we don't say God is other than God. That should bring you closer to Islam, and perhaps by you coming into the religion, then you're going to be the change of the world. But changing the world is through the religion of God. So I'm calling the people, whoever is watching this, to Islam, and Islam the way it was meant to be understood, not the manipulation of an English translation by somebody who's anti-Islam, who doesn't know when the Quran was revealed, what the circumstances were, and what the scholars of the past said about those ayats or revelation. So understand that Islam is a beautiful religion, but focus on the concept of God. That's what will draw you to Islam. The actions of the Muslims, maybe you'll be the one to change them, God willing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.